So one of the big problems that the Americans are having as they're building up the Afghan military is that you're having what they call these green on blue incidents where Afghan soldiers and police are opening fire on coalition forces. We've had 44 incidents in the last 5 years that have killed about more than 70 coalition soldiers. There was just one yesterday where an Afghan police officer opened fire on coalition forces in the south and killed an Albanian soldier, the first Albanian to die here. It's been a problem that the coalition has been unable to get a handle on. It's grown over the past few years. 2/3 or 3/4 of these incidents have happened in the last 2 years alone. So now what the Afghan spy agency has come forward and said, look, you guys don't have the ability to check the backgrounds of these people. Let us come in and we're going to insert spies into the operations from recruitment and training to actually when they're deployed out in their bases and then when they go on leave. So they're actually going to be spying on their own soldiers to try and look for trouble.
And Diane, what does this mean for our exit strategy ultimately? Does this perpetuate our presence, the coalition's presence in Afghanistan?
Well, you know, the trust between the coalition forces and the Afghan soldiers is pretty critical here. You know, we're trying to turn over the military operations to these people, and if you've got a situation where the coalition forces can't trust the people that they're going out on these operations with, it creates sort of a fundamental problem. And this has been sort of going on for years, and it's grown in the last couple of years. So it really complicates the efforts. You know, if you can't trust the Afghan soldiers that you're out there fighting with, you know, how can you conduct operations safely?
Is this partly a discipline problem? I mean, all armies have varying degrees of discipline within them, some very disciplined and some ill-disciplined. Is this, if they could just instill some discipline, that this would go away?
Well, it's not so much you know, I guess one of the things that the coalition says is these are not so much Taliban infiltrators. The Taliban have a stated strategy of trying to infiltrate the military to sow these seeds of distrust. Now, the coalition says that they don't believe that many of these incidents are actually Taliban infiltrators that have tried to go in and carry out these incidents. But they think a lot of these are people that are disgruntled, that you have, when you're in the military, especially the U.S. military, you know, it's a boot camp, and they're cracking down hard on soldiers and trying to get them in line. And there's a lot of animosity, personal animosity and resentment that builds up between these people. So they believe a lot of these incidents are just angry people, personal disputes that sort of boil over. So it's not so much a discipline problem as a personality and sometimes a class of cultures.